You know, when I started this moveset prediction, I thought this would be easy. Tapion has a sword and an ocarina, unique moveset accomplished. Easy video, but nah. This guy doesn't fight during the entire movie. He pops out of a box, plays the ocarina during a few fights, and then flies off in his spaceship. Doesn't even use the sword. So putting together a complete moveset for Tapion was a bit more of a challenge than I thought it would be. But I think we've come up with something interesting. My name is Globku, and this is Tapion's moveset prediction, brought to you by Surfshark VPN. I bet a lot of you guys already know the benefits of using a VPN, all the safety and privacy benefits, being able to browse the internet as if you're from another country. We've all been there. We want to watch something on Netflix or Crunchyroll and the show you're looking for is not available in our country. Well, with a VPN, that's no longer a problem, and if you follow the link below, you get a massive discount of 85% plus 3 months absolutely free. That's already crazy affordable for an average VPN, but Surfshark specifically has a few features that really take it to the next level. First of all, this is my normal internet speed, and this is my speed on Surfshark. There's absolutely no significant difference, and it works on unlimited devices, which means I can have my VPN active on my desktop, my tablet, my phone, my mother's phone if I want to, all with a single account. So follow the link below for an 85% discount plus 3 months for free, and Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to even try it out for yourself. Thank you, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video. Let's start with some cinematics. Shenron is summoned, opens the music box, revealing Tapion, who emerges playing his ocarina. As he lands on the ground, he's ready to start the fight. This is a 2-minute sequence that would need to be cut down to around 5 to 10 seconds, but believe it or not, FighterZ has done worse than that. And for his victory poses, we actually have a few options, but I think the coolest is just Tapion playing the ocarina and vanishing into the mist, giving him that mysterious aura that he has at the start of the movie that makes him super cool. Alright, let's move on to normals. He has none. He doesn't fight. There's nothing in this movie. So how are we gonna do things? Well, we're gonna have to look at the previous games. Budokai Tenkaichi doesn't really do anything special with his moveset. It's very generic, but Xenoverse, on the other hand, I have to commend Dimps for the work they did on Tapion. This moveset looks amazing, and it's very easy to see how many of these moves would be implemented in fighters. I'm even gonna take a few ideas from this moveset and make those moves into special attacks. That's how good of a job Dimps did with Tapion. This sweep, for instance, I can easily see it becoming his down medium. This palm attack, I can see that being his heavy attack. This upward slash really reminds me of the current Trunks down heavy, and I think it'd be awesome if these two characters shared some of their normal moves, since they share the same sword after all. We even have the auto combo in this moveset. Honestly, if it wasn't for Xenoverse 2, I'd have no idea how this character fought. And I would probably not be making this moveset prediction. I mean, last week I was gonna do Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but he also doesn't fight, like, at all. To do Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I probably would have to watch Dragon Ball Heroes, and I know you guys don't want me to go through that experience. Oh god, you guys want me to watch Dragon Ball Heroes, don't you? But those are the normals for Tapion. Let's move on to his Ki Blasts, which simply put are the same as Adult Gohan. This air pressure that he throws with the palm of his hand in Xenoverse 2 would be his standing Ki Blast. Xenoverse 2 also did regular Ki Blasts, but for some reason they feel very disconnected from the character to me, so we're just gonna do the air pressure and then we'll have another projectile as a special attack. So moving on to specials. First up, the Ocarina Shield. Tapion plays his ocarina twice in the entire movie, during combat moments that is, outside of when he does it as a hobby, I guess. Both times that he does it, he seals an enemy, but he can also protect himself with the shield while playing the ocarina. We're gonna let his ocarina seal the opponent, but only has his super attack. I think we actually have a cool gimmick there. As a special move, it only has the shield, and the shield pretty much works the same as Android 18's. Tapion can't move with the shield like Broly, he needs to stand in place. But the shield also has a hitbox, so if you're close to Tapion, even if you don't hit a button, you'll get hit. In a way, it works like a DP, but a DP that also counters a few baiting options. For instance, if you throw a beam at a regular DP from a distance, you will often catch the end of the invulnerability. In this case, if you throw a beam at Tapion, the bubble stays active for longer. It's still not a safe option, it can be baited, blocked, and then punished, but it gives you an invulnerable move that denies even a few baiting options. Next up, we're going back to Xenoverse and to this move where Tapion throws his sword. And the sword itself acts like a boomerang. I can see so much potential in this move. First of all, it works like a high priority projectile. I think it should have have pretty good range, but not exactly full screen. Because the cool thing about this is that the sword actually comes back to Tapion, and during the coming back, it also has a hitbox. It can also hit the opponent. And Tapion should be able to move after throwing his sword, effectively changing its trajectory. If Tapion throws the sword from the ground, for instance, and then he jumps, the sword goes back to Tapion's new position, which would mean it would arc upwards. Tapion would also be able to throw the sword while in the air, giving him good stage control. However, since Tapion can move while the projectile is out, we have to give him some sort of vulnerability, so this move isn't too powerful. So I'm thinking of giving him an animation for catching the sword. Nothing too big or crazy, just know that when he catches the sword, he can't block. If the sword connects with an opponent, be it on hit or block, he can still cancel that into super. He still has that option, but if we give him a fast, high priority projectile and then allow him to move with no downside, this character is immediately broken. And on that note, very often I worry about balance when making these moveset predictions, but then ArcSys releases a character like Ultra Instinct Goku, so I think I'm not gonna try as hard to not break the game, since the developer doesn't seem too worried about it either. Thanks, Dragon Ball. And the last special move we have for today is a Rekka, a group of moves that Tapion can string together with his sword that we're also taking from Xenoverse. The first move of his Rekka are these pokes, fairly straightforward. The follow-up is this spinning move that ends with this upward slash. And then the final move is Tapion going into the air, spinning once again, and knocking the opponent back down to the ground. Now, because this is a Rekka, this means Tapion could stop at any moment and not do the full string, a bit like Yamcha's Wolfang Fist. We're gonna do something a bit crazier with his EX move. If you hit the heavy attack button in the middle of the Rekka, Tapion shows up behind you and does this diagonal spin move, giving you an automatic cross-up. And you can choose to put this right at the start of the Rekka or at the end. This move is Tapion's go-to for stagger. The opponent doesn't know whether you're gonna stop, keep going, or cross-up. The aerial moves could be countered by down heavy, so if you keep it predictable, there's a good chance you'll get punished for it. But add assists into the mix and you've got one hell of a mix-up ability. The Rekka part of this move can only be done on the ground because of the pokes and the horizontal spin. However, in the air, the ability can still be used to get a sliding knockdown with Tapion. Finishing a combo with a vertical spin will guarantee the knockdown after a vanish or standing heavy combo, and who knows, maybe it could also be a great ability to extend combos with assists. And those would be Tapion's special moves. We kept it fairly simple, and the supers will also be simple because once again, this dude does not fight in the entire movie. But let's get into it. First up, we have his level 1, in which he plays the ocarina to seal his opponents. I promised the sealing part of his ocarina would come into play in his supers, so here we go. When Tapion activates the super, he gets his shield. So first of all, this would be an invincible level 1 super. Second, he plays his ocarina, absorbing his enemy into it. And from here, a few things can happen. If the opponent dies, that's it. He never comes back out of the ocarina. If the opponent doesn't die, this super would give you a few options, as it would work similar to the Dragon Rush. When you land the Dragon Rush, you can choose to let it rock the whole way, or you can choose one of your opponent's assists to be snapped into combat. And this would be the first super that would allow you to do just that. By holding down one of the assist buttons during the animation, it would seal the character and force another one to come out, essentially putting that character you just hit on the bench once again with a longer cooldown on the assist, so you can't just tag them back out. This has some obvious advantages and disadvantages. One, by snapping another character in, you can no longer follow up with another one of your character's supers. It's just like a snapback situation, you go back to neutral. Two, if you've just finished landing a combo, that character is now recovering all the blue health they had, since they were just put on the bench. But on the other hand, this is an invulnerable super, so you could always counter raw tags on reaction if you're good enough, and immediately bring in another character. And if Tapion is the character sitting on the bench, this means you can follow up with this super and snap an enemy back if you so desire. And keep in mind, this is all an option. You don't have to snap back if you don't want to. It can still work as a regular level 1 super, but if you want the snap, you can have the snap. And then we have his level 3 super, which is one of the coolest attacks we've seen in this entire movie, and it's called the Brave Sword Slash. It's nothing more than a slash, granted, but a slash that splits Hirudegan in half. Wow, I can't believe I said his name first try. With some cool animation tricks, this could look amazing, but here's the interesting thing. This move isn't actually done by Tapion in the movie, it's done by one of his friends, but despite that, both Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and Xenoverse 2 have this move as one of his ultimates. That's how little Tapion fights in this entire movie. His ultimate is a sword slash done by one of his friends, because during this time, Tapion was just hanging back, weakening the dragon with his ocarina. But I can't deny this move looks super cool, and I would love to see it animated as a level 3 super. And that was the possible moveset prediction for Tapion. I gotta say, I thought he had a decent chance of making it as a DLC character before starting this video. He was never one of the favorites to make it, but still had a decent chance. After making this prediction, however, I've become a bit less optimistic. Special thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video, 85% discount plus 3 months, don't pass up on this amazing deal. And now that you've watched this moveset prediction, do you still think Tapion has a decent chance of making it as DLC? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku and I'll see you next time. Bye.